Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic. I have updated the saddle stitch templates that were available in my shop. So now they also include, these are the printouts. I printed them on this cream colored paper. These are what came originally as far as the sizes. And then I've also added this saddle stitch template for junk journals, or for making your own journals. So, and it also includes the pamphlet stitch, which requires a few more holes and stitches. So I have the key here. The squared spaces or areas are where you would punch holes for the pamphlet stitch. The circles are just for the regular saddle stitch, the 3-hole stitch. And then if you want a longer saddle stitch, then that's where the stars are. So you would look for the center and then your center mark, which is the circle. So the circle in the middle is your center mark. So that's what that notes. It also happens to be where the center of the pamphlet stitch is and the center of the saddle stitch. I didn't fill in the circle because I didn't want to confuse the issue, but this is the center. So anyway, each one of these items, if you find them on the line, choose which one you want, and you can print multiples of this and punch the holes or highlight the areas that you want to use. For instance, if you want to just print this one out and use it for the pamphlet stitch, I would just highlight where the pamphlet stitch holes are and punch your holes, then make one for the saddle stitch and make one for the longer saddle stitch, so you would have each one. I only did it in half page or A5 size. If you would like it maybe in B6 or something smaller, let me know. Then these are the standard templates for saddle stitching, and like I said, I just added in spaces for a long saddle stitch, the regular saddle stitch, and the pamphlet stitch. I only did that on the standard Kaye, the half page A5, and the A6 personal in B6. The pocket and the micro are a little small for those bigger stitch patterns, so I left them just with the basic saddle stitch. This is my original set that I made, so you can see the difference, which was another reason why I printed this one on a different color paper, or cardstock, so that I can keep my original set and make a new set. What I did was just punch a hole in the corner and put them on this book ring so that I could keep them together. So this is what they look like. What I did was laminated them, I folded them in half, and I went ahead and used a pokey tool to poke my holes. So you can see it has the holes in it. So then when I'm getting ready to make my notebook, all I do is place this on the paper, take a pencil and stick through those holes, mark where I need to staple or stitch at. So that's kind of a quick rundown of how you use that. Oh, let me put this one back on here. So I think laminating them keeps them more sturdy and they'll last longer, and then when you punch your holes, you're not ripping up your cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and laminate these. I'm going to use just some inexpensive 3mm laminate pouches from the Pen and Gear line at Walmart. I'm just going to run these through the laminator and hope for the best. Sometimes these laminate sheets will crinkle, but again, this is for my personal use, so I don't need to get too fancy with it. And I'm just going to laminate the full sheet, and then I'll come back and cut these apart and score if need be. So all the sizes, I don't know if I mentioned, I have A5, which is half page in the US. I have A6, the pocket size, the micro, standard and Kaye size, again half page A5, personal, and the B6. So pretty much have all of the sizes as far as the height. I mean, you could have a B6 Slim, but a B6 Slim would still be the same height as B6. So And again, the keys are on each page, so you might even want to just cut that out and save it with your templates so you have the key in case you need it. I mean, if you're laminating the whole, if you're laminating the whole sheet, you're already laminating it anyway, so you could just easily cut that out. See here, this laminate curled just a little bit, so I could probably just run this back through, but since all of this will be cut off, it's okay. But that's like a little thing that happens with this laminate, these laminate pouches. I don't know if my laminator just gets too hot or what, but I do notice the curling from time to time, and sometimes, like I said, it will crinkle. But again, even with all that, it's still totally worth it. Okay, so we're all laminated now. Put this away and start trimming these up and getting them ready to use. Let's start with the big one. So I cut right outside of the black line, so I just kind of line the wire of the paper trimmer up right outside of that line and trim it there. You can do this with scissors as well. So I'm going to just show you what I was saying about trimming off the key. I'm just going to trim that off. So they're all trimmed up. I could go ahead and punch my hole, decide how I want them stacked. Punch the holes through. Do this one like that, like that. B6 is a little different. I'll take and just use my hole punch a hole in the upper corner. So I have my crocodile that can hopefully do all of them at once. We're going to find out. I'm going to use a binder clip to hold them in place. I think it can do it. You think it can do it? And I'm going to use the bigger hole. And just line it up. Oops, that slipped. In the corner. And punch. Yep, it did it. We are memory keepers. Crocodiles, no joke. They get the job done. So I already have my holes ready to go to pop them on the ring. And now I'm just going to get my scoreboard and score them so that they'll fold easier. Okay, so I'm just going to score these on the dotted lines. I may or may not score that one because that's a lot. But let's go ahead and get into this. So this one doesn't need any scoring. I'm going to score this one on the line. And then fold. Then I can easily come back after and poke my holes, probably the first time that I use it. This one I don't necessarily need to score. I could probably actually score it outside of the dotted lines. So if this one is at 2, I would probably need to score it here at 1.5, and then I would score at 4.5. The main purpose of this one is to actually use it as a template to show you where to punch your holes. So I would fold these up, for example, and set this in on my spine. Now I could, if I only had 3 signatures, then I could probably fold up this other line where I scored. Let's see if this makes sense. Say I only needed a template for 3 signatures, then I could just fold these out of the way and place this on my spine area and note where I need to punch my holes. So it just depends on how you need to use it, but I don't think I would score all of them unless you only needed the one in the center, and if that was the case, then you could just use this one because it has the same markings for 1 signature. Okay, so they're all apart. I guess I will put them all on the same ring. Since they are different colors, it's easy for me to tell which set is which. So I'm just gonna reorganize these and then put the new ones on, and then I'm ready to go the next time I need to stitch my journals. And there we go. Templates ready to go at a moment's notice. These are great for making your own traveler's notebooks and journals. If you like videos like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell so that you will receive notifications each time I upload a new video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.